Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and today I'm joined by none other than YST. How are you doing, man?
How's it going, Mr. Nub Rates? Appreciate you having me on the channel today. And first and foremost, guys, can we get a congratulations to Nub for his new place?
Oh, thank you. Hang on. I think I've got the keys in my pocket.
There
I
we go.
do. I do. My keychain, it grows. It grows.
DJ Khaled, he's got the keys.
Yeah, and can we also get a commiserations with YST? He was sick recently. Death Knight told me he has a yeast infection, so
Yeah.
if you guys have seen the Death Knight video with YST. Classic.
Man. Just
Classic.
pouring the salt on my wounds.
Oh dear. Anyway, right, we should probably talk about the video.
Yeah, good idea.
Yes, we are here to talk about the best legendary champions for the Iron Twins Fortress. We just recorded a video on YST's channel. Should be out at the same time as this one. We talk about the best epic champions, so some really good budget options, and also, funny enough, some of the actual best champions for this are epics, not legendary. But there you go. So yeah, we're going to talk about the best legendary ones, though, if you're lucky enough to have them. YST.
Geomancer's definitely not on that list, guys.
Yeah, no. Who uses Geomancer for this boss?
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, do you want to start us off then with your first legendary choice for this boss?
Yeah, sure. So the first one's gonna be from if I can remember the faction, it's gonna be from, I don't know the faction.
Okay.
Where's Urus?
He's Undead Hordes.
There we go.
There he is.
There we go. So Urus is a champion I think is a bit slept on at the moment,
Yes.
in regards to this Iron Twins anyway. And basically what it comes down to is the poisons on the passive, which is really, really solid. So when attacked, has a 50% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff on the attacker for one turn. Now, if you think about the amount of times that Urus is going to be hit throughout a battle, this is substantial, and of course the poison doesn't bypass the passive, so he will be doing that reflection of damage once you reach those thresholds. But looking forward, maybe in some no Geomancer compositions, I think poison is still going to be one of the best damages for this boss. He also has strengthen and ally protection on his A3 ability, which is huge for sustainability. Once you reach that Doomsday Machine, which can hit you below 40%. Also a decreased speed on the A2 ability. Granted, it's on a 3-turn cooldown, but decreased speed is huge for this boss. And if you want to coincide two champions that have decreased speed on cooldowns, just like this one has it on an A2, you can kind of go back to back and keep that up pretty consistently, right?
Yeah.
And also, poison on the A1, really, really nice. Or should I say shield on the A1?
Yeah. The shield's really strong, actually. Yeah, no, he's really good. I always feel like the problem with Urus is that he is so good for soloing the Scarab boss that when a lot of people, you get him, he's the second Doom Tower hard champion you get. When you get him, a lot of people, it's just like, okay, I'm building him for Scarab, and that build is so specific. It's like he doesn't get much use anywhere else. But yeah, like you said, he's really good. He's actually really good. Yeah, I wonder if they will ever... We were talking about this in your video as well, with potentially with Geomancer, like... We don't think they would nerf Geomancer, like you said. It would be an outrage, community uproar. But if they ever made like the Iron Twins passive not get bypassed by Geomancer passive, it does really push up the value of poisoners a lot. And Urust is pretty much the best one, I'd say, for this boss.
Or if they just made it in a way where poison can bypass it, like an ice golem.
Yeah,
I think the boss is still hard enough to complete anyway.
Yeah.
And I think poison should be able to, and that kind of opens up the opportunity for a vast majority of players to build up champions that's not Geomancer orientated.
Yeah.
Because this champ also has an aura of resist in all battles by 80.
Yes.
And if they kind of make resist a viable option with the Iron Brand debuffs not being extended, I think this champion will be able to fit in there immediately and help you build resist teams with an aura like this. Very similar to how Mithril is there for the accuracy aura, helping us out with Geomancer.
Yeah.
So I think looking down the line for the future of the Iron Twins, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Urus for sure.
I agree, yeah. One thing I'm hopeful about too, I do hope that maybe the next Hydra head, the new one, might be vulnerable to poison, and we see poisoners more there. I think he could be exceptional for Hydra as well. He's got this provoke whenever an ally under strengthen is attacked. He's got a good chance. Again, he could be insane for that too. And like as a champion that's long into the game, it takes you a long time to get him, but he is guaranteed when you get there. I think it'd be really good to see more of Urus. So one to watch for sure.
For sure.
All right. let me jump in with my first pick, which is I think probably the most obvious one, or at least one of the most obvious, and that's Helicath. So he is coming in, the best fusion this year, arguably the best fusion ever, up there with Brogne for sure. But I mean, block damage for 2 turns on everyone, swaps that out for increased defense after, massive shield on a 3-turn cooldown as well. Helicath is just insane for this. I think he opens up obviously unkillable teams with block damage, which is one of the easiest ways to actually take down stage 15. Just need to meet the speed requirements and you're good. Yeah. And then, yeah, I think even for non-unkillable teams, I still think he's really good because he puts out a lot of buffs so he can really like speed up the boss for Geomancer strats. And I mean, just the survivability he puts out is just extremely like... My favorite thing about Helicath is when I was playing with him on the test server and I was like, I made an unkillable team by accident because the shield is so good. I was like, wait, this wasn't supposed to be unkillable, but it actually is unkillable. It was like the 53 turn clan boss team or something. Like, okay, that's all right, cool. So yeah, he's kind of nuts for this.
Yeah, even me, as you were just saying there, I feel like just as a champion alone, even if you don't build a full block damage composition, I still think will help you survive the Doomsday Machine ability and... Yeah. He's just really solid. Maybe even paired with like some of the blessings or something like that.
Yeah,
he could be really solid just by himself for sure.
I mean, you could just Helicath at like a 1-star Brimstone. He could probably, because he counterattacks all the time. He could probably solo the boss, right? Man, good luck to anyone getting him awakened. Good luck. You're happy then.
My next champion was actually going to be a blessing in a Brimstone.
Oh, you're picking a blessing? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, that's my legendary champion for this one.
Wow, nice. All right.
So
Brimstone.
Brimstone's kind of a new champion, guys, and basically it came out with the upcoming patch with the Ultra Souls. Not many people have this champion. Do you have one of these?
I've got 3 of this champion.
Oh, you've already got 3 Brimstones.
I've got 3 Brimstones. I'm using all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically what Brimstone does, with all seriousness, is kind of deals like crazy damage against this boss. And I think in the future of Raid, when you talk about the Iron Twins Fortress, I feel like having Smite debuff is going to be the way to remove Geomancer from the equation.
Yeah.
Now, spoiler, I have made teams without Geomancer and they are speed teams using the Brimstone. And it's just really outstanding to have this on a blessing. The only downside will be is you can only have 1 up at a time. You can have multiple champions in the same team that have Brimstone, but they kind of go back to back with it. They don't place them like coinciding. So yeah, I love it for sure.
Dude, I was really annoyed at myself. I got a really fun video out of Cleopteryx. I bought her day 1. Or whenever. Okay. She was the first champion I bought. And then the next reset in the market was Mithril. And I was like, what? Why? So that would have done Iron Twins, Hydra, Arena. I was like, at least I got a good Cleopteryx video out. So,
you think that's bad? I chose Jing 1 on day 1.
You're kidding. You actually bought Jing 1?
Yeah, and then the next day was, who was it? I think it was Underpriest Brogne, and then he was in my clan boss team, and I was like, for God's sake.
Whoops. Mistakes are made. It happens. Oh my god. All right, my next pick then, Sacred Order. Yeah, it's Rashguard the Tower. It's basically Helicath, but worse. Look, block damage on your team for 2 turns, 4-turn cooldown. His other moves don't really do anything useful for this. That's literally what he's there for. He's just another block damage champion. The one advantage I say he does have over Helicath is that because Helicath has the shield, we can turn that off, but the block damage from Helicath does turn into increased defense. So if you're running specific speed tunes, like that's an extra buff. If you don't have decreased speed out, it's going to boost the boss and throw off unkillable. That's the one advantage I think Rashguard does have. But yeah, I mean, it's just, look, unkillable teams for this boss. He opens it up as well. So I think he's really good for that.
Yeah, Rashguard, great champion, and such a simple kit, but he's like, do you know what? If you need a block damage, I got you, and that's pretty much what he's there to do.
Yep, 100%. Right, what's your next one?
Next champion's going to be all the way down to the dwarfs.
Okay.
And it's going to be one of the new champions in Acrisia. Now, Acrisia was a recent 10x champion, and congrats to anyone that actually managed to pull one, because this champion is busted, and pretty much what it's down to is all of her abilities scale of enemy max HP, and As you see there, the ratings are completely worthy.
The reviews, like, I've never seen a champion with reviews this many fight. It's absolutely nuts. Like, go on, sorry.
Yeah. Wait, does it have Iron Twins in the reviews now?
I think she's got.
Oh, it does. Oh, she's got a 5.
She's a
so
5. Shocking.
Yeah. So basically, this champion is just nuts because obviously the bosses have a mitigation of how much max HP you can deal once you get to these certain stages. And pretty much when you talk about any boss, including the Iron Twins, she is smacking with every single ability. But what makes her remarkable is not just her output of damage, it's actually the Grandeur passive, because her damage decreases from AoE attacks by 50%. And if the target's max HP is more than double this champion's max HP, the damage will be based off this champion's max HP instead of attack.
Yeah.
So how this kind of works is you can build yourself a tankier Krisia. She's going to be mitigating 50% AoE attacks, and she's going to be dealing AoE damage or max HP damage on every single ability. There is no champion in the game that can do it to the way that she does. Like maybe like a Septimus of like one ability, but man, such a tanky, crazy damage dealer to throw into raid for sure.
I can't believe how OP this champion is. Like, I obviously, I read her kit. I was like, I can see that she's extremely good. She's like a legendary Royal Guard. I was like, okay, she looks really good. And then I played with her and I was like, okay, you know what? I thought I knew how good this champion was, but she is so strong. I'm actually worried for what's going to come next, like with Hydra and stuff, because this champion is so strong.
Have you tried her on the Dark Fae?
I did try her in Dark Fae. Yeah, she's really good.
That was the best thing I've ever seen this year. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's that non-resistible Terminator effect on the A3.
Yeah.
It's like, so what on earth is going on here, man? She's just, she's busted. She's actually busted.
Yeah. I've never been so mad. I did not track my Void Mercy timer, and I'm really frustrated with myself because if I'd be able to hit my Void Mercy when it was the 10x for her, I would have gone for it. I think so. Like, yeah, she's just nuts. She's so good. Anyone who has her, I hate you. Just so you know, I hate you.
He doesn't really, guys.
No,
I love you. Really. I love you for him.
I love you. No, I do hate you. No. All right, my next choice is Sir Nicholas. Actually,
yes.
Old school. In my opinion, not a great champion, but one thing he does do, which is really good, he does have unkillable for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So really, you can see the theme with my first few picks here. The same thing that Helicath does, the same thing that Rashguard does. He helps you open up those unkillable teams. Again, like Rashguard, his other moves aren't super useful. The shield is okay, but it's nowhere near as good as Helicath's, of course. There is that question mark, of course, in terms of what Plarium is going to do with unkillable specifically. We know they're going to change how the boss interacts with it because of Paragon. We were talking about this in your video. Neither of us know what's going to happen. We are hopeful that maybe it will just be like you were saying. Maybe something smart would be if they did when there's only 1 champion left alive or 2 champions alive are dead or something like that. The boss will start throwing out like true fears or something, so it would interrupt Paragon. Don't know, but hopefully unkillable for like a full team is still going to work. And if it does, again, much like those first 2 legendaries I mentioned, this is going to be one of the easiest ways to go through and to just really easily do the boss. You don't need to worry about defensive stats. And the advantage as well with Geomancer is that because you're unkillable, it lets you heal back up and then take that damage again. And Geomancer can then reflect that damage back, right? Whereas at block damage, he doesn't reflect anything except for the max HP proc. So it's going to be faster than Rashguard or Helicath.
It blows me away that Unkillable's getting nerfed because of a rare champion. It's nuts. It blows me away. Like, I don't know. Like, for me personally, it doesn't affect me because it's like Paragon. If you use a Paragon strategy, yes, you can get through it, but it takes you so long. It's so long, and I don't see people in the future actually using that strategy for like a long period of time. So I'm not really totally against it, to be honest, but. It is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know. I can understand them nerfing Paragon because it's kind of silly that the rare can do it. But I'm fully on board the team that's like, please don't nerf Unkillable in general. Because I think, number one, it's not easy to make it. Like I'm saying it is easy, but it's still really hard, you know? I mean, it's
Yeah.
easy for most people. You just go in like Deadwood or YST or Hellhaty, or someone that does these teams really well. Tell us what to do, and they tell you what to do. But it's not easy to design those teams. It's tricky. It is gear intensive as well. It's speed. So I'm up for it. Like, you know what? Let people do it. It's cool. It's a viable strategy. All right. What's your next one, man?
Next up's gonna be in the Barbarians, and it's a champion that I don't have.
Okay. I can
And
guess.
it's gonna be. Go on and guess it.
Is it Valkyrie?
It is Valkyrie.
Okay, nice.
Now, for me, like one thing that I'm not sure about you now, but I've been really theory crafting non-Geomancer teams this past week. And one thing that I've noticed is that shields are one of the most vital things that you need when you're trying to beat the Iron Twins without Geomancer.
Yeah.
I don't know I just feel like it mitigates so much damage from taking those Doomsday Machine hits. And what better champion than someone like a Valkyrie who has that, like one of the best shields in the game. Also has that counterattack, so yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the shield has such a great value, and the counterattack does deal nice damage if you've got single target damage dealers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it with her.
No, I 100%
that's it.
agree.
That's all I gotta say. Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. She's insane, I think. I find the same thing doing Hydra stuff, that like for higher difficulties of Hydra, there can be so much damage coming in, even on like hard, even on normal. Shield is insanely good for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like the mitigation it brings is so good, and she does have, it is the best shield in the game. So yeah, like
even if you think about even in the future, if we start using resist champions, if that becomes meta, I think having counterattack is going to be huge, because once you actually bypass those passives of the 85%, the 70%, etc., having a counterattack with someone like a Tator or Rhymehide will be able to throw that decreased accuracy straight back up again. Because the boss itself cleanses the buffs or the debuffs, it gives you that chance to come through and place that again, so you can start resisting immediately. And I think I could see in the future Valkyrie's going to be a problem for the Iron Twins.
100%. Yeah. Maybe they'll do something like stage 16 to 20 Iron Twins. HP burn doesn't work. Geomancer's like, no. And then then Valkyrie comes in. It's like, I got you, fam. I'm here.
Let's not speak about stage 20s and stuff right yet.
All right.
We just 515s.
All right, I'm gonna do my next two champions back to back, because these are some of the most well-known champions. I have neither one, and there's not too much that needs to be said, I think. But surprise, surprise, Duchess Lillitu, and then her, well, not really partner in crime, but another very similar champion, Sifi the Lost Bride. I think back to back, two support champions. Legendary revivers. They both bring you in like the block debuffs, nice defensive buffs. Yeah, basically both do the same thing. They come in, they're keeping your team alive, they're giving you tons of buffs to protect you. Duchess, of course, has the passive, reducing your damage from AoE attacks. Blah, blah, blah. That's basically how they work. They work extremely well too in like those Geomancer style teams, where it's like we just throw up as many buffs as we can, we get nuked, and Geomancer reflects it all back. They're both so strong for keeping your team alive, and they throw out so many buffs. They're just perfect for that. So yeah, they're both, I don't know. They're the top champions for bloody everything in the game. So it's really no surprise.
And the two champions Nub doesn't have.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man. Disgusted.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah, the frustration. All right.
Have you been pulling on the 10x for Duchess? Like, whenever it pops up?
No. It hasn't popped up in a while, but no, I don't pull in the 10x event stuff much.
Can you imagine if they did a guaranteed Duchess? Oh my gosh.
Do it next week, Plarium. I've got 15 sacreds saved up. Now is the time. Do it.
Does it guaranteed Duchess, everyone? 40 sacreds.
Oh my god. You know what? Just take my money. No, I probably wouldn't. I'd be like, screw you. That's evil. Anyway, what's your next pick?
Next up's gonna be one that I don't have, so I'll kind of resonate with you here. And it's gonna be from the Lizardman.
Yeah.
And it's one that I think you have,
and
it's Krista Ageless.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtle.
Hey.
What is there not to like about Chris? Like, once again, another place that he shines. Now, what it comes down to, A1 decreased speed, being able to keep the Iron Twins under control. Ally protection is huge in keeping yourself alive through the Doomsday Machine ability. Just an all-round amazing champion with a passive as well that can place a buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 50% of the champion's max HP, 75% chance of placing a drop defense debuff, and a 50% decreased attack debuff on the attacker for 1 turn when hit. So you're placing 2 really crucial things alongside the decreased speed and ally protection. he's got like 4 things that you really want to bring into your team when you're facing the Iron Twins. And yeah, really, really solid. I love Chris, but one day we'll get him.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the one. That was one that really made me freak out when I pulled him. I was like, oh my God, it's the S tier legendary. It's happened. Let's go.
Was it an event when you did it? Was it like a 10x or just random?
I think it was random. Yeah, well, it definitely wasn't a 10x. I think it was just a 2x voids.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like right before the Riho thingy, and I started just saving up for the guaranteed voids. Yeah, it was quite lucky. All right, my next one then is one that I actually am using at the moment, and that's Lord Champfort. It's quite fun because he's really been a vault dweller for a long time. You know, he got some use in Hydra, but I think there are better mischief tanks, but he can do that job for you as well. But he comes in and he's got, again, that really cool passive that helps out a ton, which is whenever he's attacked, he places decreased speed on the enemy. It's only the small version, but hey, you know what? That stops Iron Twins passive from working. So the Iron Twins will no longer get any turn meter when you get buffs on your team. So yeah, he's probably the most consistent for doing this, because even if the boss triggers his passive and he does his retaliation thing, even if it's like out of speed tune, because it's an attack, Champfort decrease speed right back on, which is just super useful. He does have a very unreliable decreased defense on his A1, which isn't much good. Then he does bring decreased accuracy, decreased attack. I'm not sure if it's bugged or if it's intentional. We literally don't know at the moment, really, but you cannot resist the extensions of Ironbrand. You can resist the application initially, but you can't resist the extension. So that's a bit weird right now. We don't know if that's intended or not. We think it's probably not. But it does make decreased accuracy actually not very useful at all. Like, you're just better off ignoring resistance for the most part and decreased accuracy.
Yeah.
But look, decreased attack is still great to have. He does have an amazing aura, 50% HP in dungeons as well.
Oh.
Yeah, which is the best one.
Oh my
obviously.
God, I've never seen that before. What?
Yeah, I know. Because you never use him. Like, he's just, what's the point?
I don't even have him. I don't have him.
Yeah, well, there you go. But yeah, so
50%.
Yeah, 50.
That is nuts.
I know. Yeah. So
holy crap.
He's really good. He's like perfect for this boss. He's really, really good for it.
This is mad, because when you think about when you're building like Geomancers or Aeox Rememberers and you're struggling to get your accuracy stats, you tend to put accuracy chest plates on.
Yeah.
And this is a great way to fill in and basically have a 50% HP chest plate. So
yeah, it's a ton of life.
Yeah, that is huge. I want to champ one now.
There you go. He's good, and you can build him some mischief tank as well, because he gives himself a shield every turn. Kind of awkward because he can't bring other shield champions, and like Blood Shields does a similar thing. But so he's not a bad option though for Hydra, especially depending on the affinity. Sometimes he can be pretty decent, you know. So yeah, he's pretty cool. He's a cool champ. He's a cool Champfort.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Right. What's your next one? Moving on. Quick. What's the next one? I broke YST. Yeast, speak to me. Man. Yeast.
All right, Yeasty boys, let's go. Let's go to the dwarfs. And it's gonna be Underpants Brogne. Let's go.
Very nice.
All right, so Underpriest Brogne is a phenomenal champion, and he's not going to reflect the way that a Geomancer will with the burns, but he does provide a lot of utility with the non-removable shield that has a great value if you build him correct. We've got our block debuffs, increase attack. We've got the extension of shields as well on the A2 ability, and of course the reflection in his passive. Now, if you're trying to keep your team alive, Underpriest is next to none in so many places in this game, and yeah, he's just really, really solid. What do you think about Underpriest?
Yeah, he's insane. He's so good. Yeah, exceptional for this boss. Yeah, like you said it all, really. It's like the shield is so strong, it heals you up, it reflects some damage. Do you know, actually, because I haven't tested it out, but with like the reflect damage buff, or with Brogne shield, can that bypass do you know, with the boss passive or not? Because I haven't tried it.
The problem is I did try it, but the issue is it's hard to judge where you're bypassing because of how small the reflections are.
Gotcha. Yeah,
so that's kind of the issue. One thing I will say is though, when I used, actually, are you going to talk about Snaketrack next?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, we'll break down that champion in a second. But when I was pairing like multiple reflect damage champions, I could see the bypassing of it.
Interesting.
So maybe it is a thing, but getting to that bypass is the problem, I guess.
Yeah. I've been so lazy, man. I'm just like Geomancer, and I'm done, you know? I'm so bad. I should do more in that non-Geomancer teams. But
listen, with the test server, it's all right, but when you start doing it on your main account, my God,
yeah,
I'm broke right now.
I know. This is the richest I've been in game, like 4 million silver. That's from grinding Spider. You. Yeah, no, I never have that much. It's rough.
I got 800k.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. That sounds more like it. All right, so next up, let me jump ahead to Snaketrack. Let's talk about him, because you have him, right?
Yes.
You have this guy. Yeah, I think he's got huge potential. So I'm looking at him, and I'm like, ooh, kind of Vogot 2.0, right? He's coming in. He's got decreased attack, A1. Fantastic. He's got decreased speed with a massive shield for your team. He's got ally protection, reflect damage. He places leech with his passive as well. So I'm like, yo, you know, for just a champion for keeping your team alive, right, with massive shield, ally protection, decreased attack, leech. He's got so much. There's so much there coming together. I know one thing I found was a problem with him is that reflect damage doesn't reflect damage taken by shields. So there's a real counter synergy, but maybe that could kind of work. But you actually have the guy. How does he work in practice?
Snaketrack is really solid. What I will say is he's probably the most consistent decreased attack champion in the game. What it comes down to is because if you've got ally protection on, he applies that leech, right?
Yeah.
And if they're under a leech, he places the decreased attack before attacking. So if you think about affinities or anything like that, this is just going up, right? And it's just really, really solid. And that's on an A1. It's not like you have to wait for an A3 to come round. It's just leeches up, you're placing decreased attack, and that's it. And if you want to survive Doomsday Machine in the future without a Geomancer or with a Geomancer, it's nuts for sure. Also, the decreased speed is nice, but it's on a 3-turn cooldown. That's probably one downside. It's not as consistent as we would like.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, he's a great support. I really like him personally.
Yeah. I wonder what sort of reviews. I think I looked and the reviews weren't. Oh, no, never mind. He does have a 5 in Iron Twins Fortress. Yeah. There was one champ I thought would be OP and they got like a 4. And I was like, oh, okay. That's surprising.
Oh, was it?
I don't remember who it was, though. I thought for a second it was Snaketrack, but no, he got the 5.
But it is nuts. Like, if you pair, like, I done a team where I did Underpriest Brogne, Snaketrack, and Geomancer in one team. And it was crazy. Like even though the reflections from Snaketrack aren't huge, do you know like the line of the debuffs when they're just ticking off the boss?
Oh yeah, just
it was like an essay, man. The whole screen was just reflections. It was funny. Yeah.
All right, what's next?
What's next in Raid Shadow Legends is going to be Bardel from the Undead Hordes. Yeah.
Don't have him. Do not have.
Okay. It's a bit sad to see, of course, as we were mentioning earlier, that Poisons doesn't really bypass in the way that we want to with the passive. But it doesn't stop him from being a remarkable champion because on his A2 ability, with the Malice, can remove all debuffs from all allies and places continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places 2 5% poison debuffs on all enemies. Now, he also inflicts 20% more damage against targets under poison and AoE heal on his A1 ability. Now, a champion like Bardel is huge because I'm a big fan of versatility, and I know that a lot of people use Bardel for speed farming the Ice Golem or something like the Dragon. And what's really cool about Bardel is you can carry that same build that you've kind of prepped for your other dungeons, throw it into the Iron Twins, and you'll be able to use the same build. Granted, the accuracy is the right amounts. So my kind of build that I use in Reflex for the Ice Golem, all I did was put an accuracy chestplate on and move him over to the Iron Twins, and it was like a no-brainer. And pairing him with Mithril, they was really going back to back and helping me survive. So
I like that.
I love Bardel for sure.
Yeah, he's a really good champ. That brings me actually directly to what I was going to say next, which is Mithril. Yeah, it's got to be Mithril in there. It's just so strong for this. Just again, in terms of those champions that give you so much protection, she comes in with a cleanse, strengthen, and then a massive shield. And then she also gives you the increased defense on her A2. Now, she gives you increased attack. She puts out a Hex, not very useful for the boss. She actually puts out quite a few poisons with her A1 as well, which can actually be kind of annoying sometimes, right? Because she triggers the boss passive with the poison ticks. But, you know, it can also, when it works well, it works really well. And then, of course, with her passive here, she has like basically infinite resistance. So she won't actually get any Iron Brand stacks on herself. And then plus that 80 accuracy aura, which really helps, you know, on that budget where you need 600 accuracy for magic affinity, 530 for the other affinities. That's a ton of accuracy. 80 accuracy really helps you get through that. And it takes you a while to get her, but she is a guaranteed champion from Hydra, so like everyone will get her at some point. So yeah, I use her.
Would you say like best champion for Iron Twins?
Her possibly, yeah. I mean,
definitely top 3 for me. I think the main thing is the accuracy aura.
Yeah,
that's what makes it really stand out. Like accuracy in all battles by 80 allows you to just push like 480 accuracy, and this will just bump you way over 550. So yeah. I think the aura alone with the rest of her kit is, for me, one of the best champions for Iron Twins.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the top ones. I would say the best one is Geomancer. It's got to be Geo, but Mithril is exceptionally good. Yeah, and if the Geomancer stuff is ever nerfed, like then again she becomes just insanely strong as well. Like with the poisons becoming much more useful there. Yeah, she's nuts. All right. Do you have any champions left?
I've got one more champion in the Banner Lords.
Okay.
And it's going to be one that I don't have and you don't have as well, and that's Septimus.
I
want to give a big shout out to Scratch. He's a great content creator out there, and basically in his Unkillable team, he used Septimus, and it kind of blew me away with how much damage he was doing in those Unkillable settings. And I think above Cold Hearts and above Royal Guards, this dude was smacking some crazy damage. Like, it was nuts. So I think for Unkillable options, as you was mentioning loads earlier, I think he's a great DPS for those scenarios. And I think it's nice to see Septimus back in the meta a little bit, because he's kind of been sidelined for a little while, right? From what I've seen. So I think if there's a way that you can bring back older champions and start having a place for them and kind of rebuilding these champs, I think it's good to have that in the game. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He's real good. Yeah, I love this. It's going to be really difficult against Iron Twins, but I've seen this be used, the passive against Clan Boss, right? And Unkillable there, where every attack has a 30% chance to increase the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn. It's something people don't really think about with Septimus, because you just think about him for the raw damage, but it's actually a really nice little passive for, again, Unkillable damage in Demon Lord. I mean, getting him 600 accuracy is probably not something you're going to do for Iron Twins, but hey, I mean, it might be nice if you did. But yeah, the dude smacks. He's cool. I'd love to get him. He's just a fun champion. I'd love to have him.
Yeah, sometimes it's about fun, right? Like, even if the champion's not the best in the game, you just want to have a laugh with him.
Yes.
See what he can do.
Okay, then for my next one, my penultimate choice, I'm going to go with Cardial. This is a champion that I haven't used on the boss, but I think he should be really good. It's like one of my favorite picks that you were talking about in your video for Epics. He's like the legendary version of her. Skytouch Shaman, that is. But like, he comes in, I think he's just got a great kit, right? He's got the 3-turn cooldown, full cleanse with block debuffs and revive on death. His A1 does a surprising amount of healing. He comes in then with some more buffs and an ally attack. He's got the speed in all battles aura. He can join in on attacks with his passive here, which does more healing. So yeah, he does a surprising amount of healing, and he's just an insanely strong champion. He's going to be super good in Arena. He's insanely good for Hydra as well. But yeah, I think one thing I'm kind of curious about is he does throw out obviously a ton of buffs with the crit rate, crit damage.
I was just about to say, I was like, you got to be wary with the decreased speed, guys, if you're using this dude.
Yeah. But like, you could use it to your advantage. I guess I'd just be a bit worried with the ally attack. Would that trigger the boss passive? It'd be something you'd have to watch out for. And like, if you're going to use him in Hydra, it's like, he's so good with War Master in Hydra. It really adds up. But yeah, he's one, like I said, this is kind of more of a theoretical pick. I don't know how good he actually is in practice, but my theory, he's got 4.9 rating. I mean, my theory is that he should be insanely good as just a support to keep your team alive. And again, if that Geomancer stuff ever does get dropped, ally attack is, in terms of single target damage, it's like the highest sort of potential single target hit in the game is an ally attack. So he should be very strong for that. But yeah.
Do you know, one thing that I wish they would do in this game, right? And it just kind of sprung to mind is, so if you go into your actual champions, in your inventory.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you see how we got builds on the right hand side, and then we've got the favorites and all that stuff underneath skins? I wish that there was a way in this game to have 2 builds in one champion.
Yeah.
Do you know a way that you can just like swipe right, and you can kind of, if it's in those 2 builds, you can mix and match between those builds.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because if you use champions like you were saying with a Cardio or someone like a Geomancer, you want to use like War Master in one place, but then somewhere like the Iron Twins, you don't want to use the War Master. And it's just that thing of, now I've got to spend 150 gems if I want to swap. And
I know.
I just wish there was a way that we could have like 2 sets of stuff with the amount of stuff that's in this game now. Probably won't happen, but
Yeah.
it's just something I'd like to see.
Yeah, that's too much quality of life. We couldn't have that. No, they want you to pull multiple copies, but yeah, it would be amazing. Of course, it would be so cool, it would be so good. By the way, for anyone wondering, is Alexander with Soul Reap any good? The answer is no. He sucks. Moving on. He's terrible.
Yeah. So back into some. I've got a few honorable mentions. Just to throw in there as rare and uncommon champions.
Yep.
One's gonna be, what's his name? Oh, Cobru's gonna kill me. Sacred Order. What's his name? Armiger.
Oh, Armiger.
Yeah.
Armiger joining the legendary video. I like it. Let's go.
Yeah. So I think just because I think alongside I think because you stuck with that theme of a lot of unkillable, it's worth mentioning Armiger's.
100%.
Basically, that 3-turn cooldown of, or should I say 2-turn cooldown of the enemy max HP ability is huge. And if you're unkillable, it doesn't matter if he's less tanky or not.
Yeah.
And another one will be in the Dark Elves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a champion I've been seeing a lot, and that's Painkeeper.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a triple Painkeeper unkillable composition floating around.
I saw that with Rashguard, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I just seen Painkeeper floating around. I thought, if we're mentioning unkillable,
yes,
might as well throw that in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's extremely good as well. Yeah, it's funny, like those kind of lower rarity champions that just can work really well in combination with the legendaries in particular.
Yeah,
it opens them
up. I think
yeah.
when these champions came out in the game like 3 years ago, it's like I don't think they kind of seen Iron Twins coming out in 3 years.
Absolutely not. No,
they've kind of built these weird kits that kind of, that's why you see like Paragons and Painkeepers still like in the games. They've got these weird kits that they probably don't even have the codes to fix anymore.
Probably not. No. Oh man. Okay. The last one I had then on my list was Lady Kimmy, as I think just a good support. Again, in terms of a bit more of that budget coming in and giving you increased accuracy and some turn meter, I think that's going to be really helpful to hit the accuracy requirements for some players. And then she does bring decreased speed, decreased accuracy as well. So she's more of an honorable mention, I think, at the moment, seeing as the decreased accuracy doesn't seem to be that useful because it's like Iron Brand goes on once and it doesn't even matter anymore. But yeah, I mean, but she should be, I think, a good one for some Iron Twin strats, right? Decreased speed and decreased accuracy, if that goes back to working as we think it should. They're obviously two key debuffs to fighting him. Increased speed, increased accuracy, super good too. And just an amazing champion in general as well. So she's sort of my honorable mention here.
Yeah,
that
so
I don't have.
one extra one in that Shadow King before people kill us will probably have to be Ninja. I'm not sure if... I don't know how it works. Let us know in the comment section, guys, anyway, or Nub, you can let me know. Does the activation of burns trigger the passive?
I'm pretty sure it does, but not 100% sure. I'm
like,
like,
it's not. Yeah, I was thinking that because it's not a reflection; it's an activation of a skill, and I kind of thought it would activate it. But let us know, guys, if you've got experience with Ninja and the Iron Twins. Let us know because I'm kind of intrigued to know.
Yeah, I'm like 80% sure.
Okay,
but yeah. I'm not sure. I will also give an honorable mention as well to Yoshi as another increased accuracy champion who also brings you decreased accuracy and HP burn. But again, I think the problem with him at the moment is that you don't really want another burner in because why would you not use Geomancer? So that's sort of his problem. But hey, if Geomancer's not a thing, this guy is also really good. Speed in all battles, increase accuracy, burn and decrease accuracy on a 2-turn cooldown. That's pretty nice. So he's got some potential.
And also, an honorable mention to Genzen. He does absolutely nothing for this boss, but after shouting him out in Nub's video.
Honorable mention to Jingwan, who is the #1 priority in the Awakening shop. The Awakening market. No. You want to upgrade him ASAP?
I can't believe I did that, man. Literally, I went in there. I thought the Eternal Essence would come like every 2 seconds. Like, we're doing these 4 runs a day. So I thought, this is some easy stuff that you could just get all the time. I've gone in there, bought a Jing 1, and let's just see. I kind of regret that decision there.
Honorable mention to Cleopteryx, who I bought the thing for. Actually, not bad for this boss, by the way. Not bad. Yeah. She's got a really fun passive. It was actually quite useful for the lower levels, right? Where whenever an enemy is dead, whenever 2 allies are dead, she always counterattacks. So she was just like plowing in these A1s and ripping the boss apart. She was actually quite good for those like first 10 levels, and then it was like not so good after that. But yeah, she's kind of
how many soul stones have you like saved up? Are you a hoarder with those, or have you been you got 0?
I got 0, man. Now I'm pulling them all. So I can tell you I've pulled 11 immortal soul stones so far. 11? Yeah, 11.
Where'd you get 11 from?
Well, mostly I've been selling nearly everything. But yeah, I've I've got 11. So from Hydra gives you the biggest chunk of Mortal Soul Stones.
That makes sense.
And then for the first week, I was buying the extra keys. Now I'm only buying them. I'm only buying them on Sunday, because on Sunday, guys, you do get double rewards. In case you guys don't know, you get double rewards from Iron Twin, so it actually adds up. It's worth using the extra keys on Sunday, just like that once a week. You know, it's my sort of take on it. But yeah, I've just been selling basically all the stuff I'm not going to use.
Paragon.
I do have the Paragon one still there. Yeah. Or Heiress, if I ever make an Heiress team, she's kind of chilling there.
Yeah.
But like they're, this 2-star awakening for like a rare is not very good.
What's the best one that you pulled so far?
Well, I can show you. The highest awakening I've got. Well, I got a couple of 6-star rares and I sold them for 100 of the big coins, because I think that's worth more. I was like not going to use them. Yeah. I got. People might be mad. I got Stitched Beast. I don't know if anyone knows what Stitched Beast does. I had a 6-star 6 Stitched Beast, and I sold it because I said, what, apart from a meme, why would I use it? And I want to awaken something good. I have a 3-star Alexander. It's rubbish. 2-star Physics is actually decent. That's not too bad.
Decent. You got one on Necmofar as well. That's nice.
Yeah, no, that was good. I bought that one, and that's actually quite helpful for Hydra. I bought Romantu as well, I think. Which is actually not worth it, really. It doesn't do anything. The 1-star blessing is really rubbish unless it's on the Meteor one is extremely good for Hydra. Yeah. Then I do have a 4-star. I've got 4-star Vergis Rector Drath. I just got, and I've given her this thing to test out in Hydra. Haven't tested it yet. And actually, this one is real nifty. It's the one on Seer. Crushing Rend is actually quite useful for Seer, for Doom Tower.
Ignores the defense, right?
Yeah, even at 1-star, that's quite good. And then I did pick up a couple of 1-stars with Husk, and one of my Ugos now have the thing for Hydra. And that's most of it. That's pretty much it. Got some rares, but Painkeeper with this for Clan Boss is nice. But that's about it.
I don't know. I really like the Soulstone system. I think the only issue for me is obviously just how hard it is to attain the resources, and the kind of resource cost to what you're getting back from the Iron Twins runs is just, for me, a bit too small.
Yeah, you should definitely be getting more.
Because I can do 12 multi-battles and be able to buy 2 Mortal Soulstones of it, and it's like, I just use like so much energy to do those runs, and it's like, I'd have rather done like a whole 50 multi-battles on Dragon or something.
Yeah.
Than get 2 Mortal Soulstones.
It does feel like it should be more. I'm not crazy far off getting an Eternal Soulstone, though. I think we got some Immortal Soulstones, a bunch of them for free. Like we had the free gift, and then the first time you beat each affinity, you get one. But I figure like in maybe another 3 weeks, maybe I'll have enough for my first Eternal Soulstone, and then I can get like I don't know, 5-star Romero or something, and be like, well, that was a month wasted.
I actually got really lucky because I didn't do Hydra, right, and I didn't get as many as you, but I managed to get like some good ones. Like I got 3-star Lysandra, 4-star Pandrathon, 6-star. I got some Duchess, Iron Brago.
Dude. Wow.
Geomancer.
What? Oh my god. Give me yours, please. I've got rubbish stuff.
I put all of my champions from my wish list. So I put Vogoth, Geomancer, and Skytouch Shaman. And I got 3 to 4 stars on all of them from...
Wow.
It was insane luck. Yeah.
I need to do your strategy. Just don't do Hydra and get lucky. I like it. All right.
You feel sorry for me.
All right, but guys, look, there we go. Look, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yeast, thank you for joining. YSD, thanks for joining.
Guys, if you haven't seen it yet, basically how Nub did... actually, go into the news page. Like, you can see it. We're both there at the same time today.
Are we? No way.
Yeah, you can fit the same page. Look, if you go down a little bit.
Yeah.
If you go down a little bit, there's Nub.
Oh my god, there's me. That's not that one. This one. Hey.
There we go.
There we go.
Rare occasion you could fit us both in the same screen there.
Yeah, there we go.
It's like Nubception.
Oh, I'm in the way. Hang on. If I turn me off. There we go. Oh.
There we go.
There we go. It's a much improved video. Look at that.
Oh, no, now we've got Marsception.
A true collab. True collab. My hair is tied up today, so it doesn't look right. Oh well. These things happen.
In that video, basically, Definitely was calling me Yeasty Boy, so that's my new name. But yeah, thanks so much for having me on the channel today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Again, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, the epic video is over on YSC's channel. We talk about all the best epics and why Geomancer is so good and all that fun stuff. So yeah. All right. We'll see you all again soon, guys. Again, YSC, thank you, and bye-bye.